A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. President Trump has come out and given some details on the initial response to Iran's continued issues. They've been attacking us. They've been promoting, supporting, paying their proxies, as I like to call them, these other people who perform terrorist acts for them. They declared war on the United States 40 years ago, and they've been at it the whole time, and we've largely ignored it because we just didn't see the severity of the threat. In fact, we even had administrations recently. The Obama administration, sent billions and billions of dollars over there, on January 16th. What year was that? It was January 16th. I know J16 is a real big thing they're always talking about. J16, when Obama sent pallets of cash in multiple currency on military jets into the airport at Tehran to return to the mullahs who support terrorism against the United States. This was despicable. It's incredible. It's hard to believe, but it's absolutely true. Look it up yourself. It's really happened. Now, you didn't hear much about it in the media because it was during the presidency of Barack Obama, and he could do no wrong as far as the media was concerned. And poor old Republicans, they couldn't say anything negative about the policies because they were too afraid of being labeled racist. So President Obama did whatever he wanted to do. The Republicans would come out and say something about, we're not going to support this, we're not going to vote for this, blah, blah, blah. But when it came down to it, the Republicans folded like a wet napkin every single time because of the fear of being called a racist. It's a shame we have things like that in the United States because racism is a very bad thing. But the fact that Barack Obama was actually the president of the United States twice, voted in back-to-back elections. He served for 8 years, but he was never treated like a full president. The media and people often referred to him as the black president. He was not the black president. He was the president of the United States. I don't support everything he did, what he stood for, but he was the president of the United States, but he was never treated as such. He was always treated like the affirmative action president, and even called by the media the black president. It's a shame because the people so adored him because of the color of his skin. The majority of the people that voted him in and adored him for the color of his skin, but they didn't see any deeper than that. And even now they refer to him as Obama, instead of President Obama, or now former President Obama. But anyway, getting back to Iran, this is a situation that's needed taken care of for decades and decades. And Iran is not going to change overnight, but at least we've reduced that nuclear threat that is against the United States, our allies, the entire region. Israel, of course, is right there. And that's one of the Israelis and the Western countries, primarily the United States, that Iran and those extremists want to abolish. So this action was taken. It'll be controversial. It'll be talked about for a long time. But after 40 years of threats and continually building up, and unfortunately having the Obama and Biden presidencies supporting Iran, sending them money, allowing them funds, reducing sanctions, giving them actually billions of dollars in cash, knowing how they're going to spend it, we are fortunate as a country, as a humankind. We are fortunate as a planet that we do have a U.S. president in office now, President Trump, to be clear, that would take that stand, take that risk, and meaning risk to himself, because he's just going to be attacked by the pundits, by the media, and everyone who's always negative. I mean, President Trump can't do anything that the media is going to agree with. Even did the State of the Union address a couple months ago, where he pointed out people who had lost their family members, loved ones, in acts of violence, criminal acts, and terrorism, military loss of military lives, with the Gold Star families, they refer to them. And people, just because it comes out of Trump's mouth, people will be against it, instead of openly and coming together as like human beings and supporting these people who have given so much in their lives and lost so much in crime, war, criminal acts, acts of violence, whether it's acts of war, acts of terrorism, or even criminal acts that happen in the streets or in their homes. The important thing is that, I easily get off topic on this one, is that Iran's nuclear ambitions seem to have been quelled at this point. Well, maybe their ambitions haven't, but their nuclear capabilities have been reduced to rubble. Now, we'll see where they go next. They might do the same thing again, but they're having to start out. They're having to start over again to do it. Anyway, it's a positive thing for the planet, regardless of what you think about Trump, the administration, or about the United States. You have to realize that having a rogue nation that has this much money, that massive amount of money from oil, and this much hatred for so many people on the planet, they should not have that massive power of destruction. You may agree, you may not agree. I welcome your comments, your messages. But thank you for listening to Cretin Media. Y'all have a good day.